Hi, it's Robin Sharma, author of The Leader Who Had No Title, founder of the Titan Academy. Well, this mastery session is all about how to prevent people taking advantage of you. I get this all the time as I crisscross the planet doing different events. People say to me, Robin, I want to be a great person. You talk about that, about humanity. You talk about shifting from being a victim to being a leader. You talk about building relationships. You talk about, Robin, being generous in your work. But when I do these things, when I become the kind of person that I know in my heart I want to be, people take advantage of me. Well, the starting point. People only take advantage of you if you allow them to take advantage of you. Being kind doesn't mean getting walked all over. So I've always believed, and you've heard this before, but people treat us the way we teach them to treat us. If people are walking all over you and taking advantage of you, it's because you're not setting any boundaries. Perhaps it's because you don't know how to communicate your needs. So they do something and then it hurts you, but you don't feel brave enough to speak up. Do you know how many people on the planet basically don't speak up because they're too afraid of losing the relationship or not being liked? You got to speak up. Do it in a respectful way, but say, you know what? Hey, when you did this, it made me feel like this, and I'd so appreciate if you would treat me like this. So just remember, people treat you the way you teach them how to treat you. And look at your relationships. If you're around takers, it's because you've allowed yourself to be surrounded by takers. And I really believe most people are good, They don't know that they're making you feel that way. Take the time to communicate it. I guess what I'm also suggesting to you is generosity always wins. We live in a world right now where there's so many people, they've forgotten the power of generosity. They're sort of stuck in this scarcity mindset. And so they're so afraid of being taken advantage of that they don't give very much of their talent to their organization. They don't give very much of their love to strangers on the street. They don't give very much of their humanity to their family. It's like because they're in this fear mindset, well, if I'm really nice and if I'm really giving to my family or my loved one, and if I work really hard at my company and bring on my talent to my industry, I'm going to get hurt and I'm going to lose a lot. And I just want to remind you, I've been at this a long time. Generosity always wins. Don't be taken advantage of. Make sure that you get what's your due. But if you get this mindset where it's like, how may I best serve the most people? How may I be ridiculously generous to my customers or my friends or my family? You receive exponential returns on that way of being. So, the other day I was in Phoenix and I had this amazing dinner. Like the food was just sort of handcrafted and there were a few people around the table and it was with one of my best new friends on the planet. And last time I was in Phoenix, I really connected to him and he sort of quietly went off, I'm going to just take a break and I found out he paid for the whole dinner. And so I said, no way am I going to in any way allow him to pay for the dinner this time. So we enjoyed this meal and it was 2 or 3 hours long and we were laughing and talking about philosophy and connecting. And I made sure, I went and I quietly paid the bill before he could reach up and pay the bill. Well, when I came back, he went, you just paid for the bill. And he was sort of like, he's so generous that he wanted to pay. But then he said something to me, he said, Robin, that was a pretty significant bill because we really ate very, very well and we had some really nice wine. And he said, but that's going to come back to you in multiples. Now, obviously, the reason I paid for the dinner was to show appreciation to my friend, to show my love, to show my gratitude for the connection that we're building. But he reminded me of the reality of life, which is if you just come from this place of trust, of giving, of serving, of trying to make other people happy, amazing things unfold in your life. And that's sort of just one of the truths that leadership and life have been built on. So I hope this mastery session has been helpful to you. Go out and be generous. Watch what happens to you in your life in all the different areas that are most important to you. Hi, it's Robin. I invite you to subscribe to this podcast and definitely go over to robinsharma.com for more information, tools, and resources on mastery, elite performance, and living a world-class life.